the Geek Boy with the Geek Boy review for you. Reviewing Transformers: Age of Extinction. I know, Age of Extinction came out weeks ago. Why the fuck are you reviewing this movie? Well, I wanted to review it, but my mom finally found her chargeable batteries, and so I can use the batteries for this camera. Because apparently this camera I want to use dollar store fucking batteries, which makes sense. Dollar store batteries suck ass. They last you a good 2 weeks, but then quickly decline faster after said 2 weeks is done. Fuck you, dollar store batteries. Fuck you in the ass. Transformers: Age of Extinction is about 4 years after the Battle of Chicago, and the government decides to outlaw all Cybertronians. Meaning, not only will the Decepticons be hunted and killed with extreme prejudice, but our heroic Autobots who risk their lives, well, as Tyree said, blood, sweat, and precious metal to defend us, which is kind of true. I mean, Jazz died, Iron Eye died, the female Autobots died. We fast forward in Texas with Kay Yeager, played by Mark Wahlberg, who is a brilliant inventor, but his inventions seem to be very, well, destructive and not very fully potential good inventions. That's right, folks. You got the classic cliche brilliant inventor phobia. Where I heard that before. Oh, and not only that, you think that's the only cliche? He has a daughter who he doesn't want to date secretly. Secretly, she's dating a hot Irish guy who's a race car driver. One day, Kay Yeager buys this beat-up Peterbilt, and he finds out through experimenting on this beat-up Peterbilt that this Peterbilt is Autobot leader Optimus Prime in hiding. He's in the process of rebuilding Optimus. He opens up a can of worms, and he discovers that not only is the government after the Autobots, but the government is working with a Cybertronian intelligence, known as the rogue Cybertronian bounty hunter / assassin. Lockdown is hunting Optimus Prime for his own plans. Kay Yeager must team up with Optimus Prime to not only save the world, but also save Optimus' hope in humanity. I'ma cover the good, the bad, and the good of this movie is that you have two main plots. The one plot is that the government is hunting down all Autobots and Decepticons, and with that, it causes some good tension between what's going on, giving you a good sense of danger. When you see Ratchet getting killed, you immediately go like, oh my god, this is brutal, this is heartfelt. And some of us won't even really like Ratchet, because in the Michael Bay series, Ratchet is very forgettable. But when you see him get killed and you see him bleeding on his knee, literally on his knee, they cut off his fucking knee, that he wants to live, they decide to go like, nah, we won't. And you have Lockdown come down, stab him, and take out his spark. And you see the tension, you get the sense of danger, you're seeing how far Optimus will go to protect himself, even though that's been his vow. All 3 movies, that's been literally his vow. All 3 movies, that he won't kill no humans. Here, he kills humans left to right, because he's defending for his freedom, and you get that sense that he is losing his hope, and that's a good aspect. We get more character development from Optimus. And the other good plot is with Lockdown. Lockdown is sent to hunt Optimus Prime for his own nefarious plans. And you get this again, you get more tension with that, because you get another sense of danger for both Autobots and the humans that is being stowed away. And another good aspect of this movie is that Mark Wahlberg is a fucking far better lead than Shia LaBeouf's Sam Witwicky. I know, I'm with you people. Sam had some type of charm with it. You actually got a sense of adventure with Sam. But up to part 3, Sam's character quickly became annoying and totally predictable, because they didn't go nowhere with this character. They gave him some bit of character development in the second one, but they said, fuck it all, we're gonna give you the same damn plot in part 3 with Sam screaming like he's a little bitch. With this, what it takes to make a character likable. He gives his character so much more understanding, and you relate to his situation. Like, he wouldn't give up Optimus. He goes like, I have to. He's defending us. He helps out. He really risks his life. Like, is the action sequences when they're like shootouts. They feel very heart pounding and so intense because you see the Autobots getting damaged and almost kind of severely wounded by getting shootouts with either humans or Decepticons. The bad of this movie is that it has in total 4 plots that extends the movie from its usual 2 hours to almost where it feels like it spent 3 fucking hours. That crams it up. The 2 main plots are okay. The other 2 is almost forgettable and should have been used for a sequel or not at all. The third main plot is having humanity dissect, experiment on dead Cybertronian bodies so we can use their bodies for make man-made Cybertronians so we can use them as weapons. I know, right? Cliches! Where have I seen this before? The main plot is that Haygaker has a daughter, Tessa, who is dating an Irish guy, and Kay's not good with that. And I'm just getting more interested in the main 2 plots, where I'm like, okay, I don't give a fuck about these plots. They don't give really a sense of danger. I mean, sure, it's kind of hurtful seeing the Autobots being hunted for our own experiments. Yeah, but I'm like, you're adding too much to this film, and it's extending it, and it's extended it, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Can you do something with this? And since they really pissed me off is the underuse of the Dinobots. If you don't know, you won't know. The Dinobots were originally built by Wheeljack, who was so fascinated by Earth's prehistoric history that he built the Dinobots. Dinobots got a personality of their own and ran it off and animated. The Dinobots were created by Kari's father, and she used her key from the Allsmart to give them life and personality, bringing in the making Dinobots come life, having intellect, dumb intellect. After that, in the official canon, brought to you by I think Hasbro. Yeah, Hasbro definitely making this official canon, where in Fall of Cybertron, the video game, says that they were Cybertronians that were experimented on Shockwave, because Shockwave was fascinated by our prehistoric history. So that's the official canon by what Hasbro says. And I'm sitting there like, okay, I ran for down, but since they want to extend the time, I have no time to actually build up to be like, okay, the Dinobots. The movie opens up in the prehistoric time where you see the dinosaurs and shit, and I'm like, oh shit, we get to see Dinobots, yeah! And the movie extends. I'm like, how the fuck the Dinobots is gonna fit in now? And the movie just throws them in, and I'm like, they're titans. They're like taller than Optimus. Like they're almost the same size as Devastator. And I was just sitting there like, okay, they're titans. They're titans. They're strong. They look powerful. And when they came on, I was already like, ready to go, but I'll give this a shot. And I was like, this movie is not even trying. And when Optimus basically threatens their freedom, he goes like, if you not help me save the human race, I will kill you because you have not earned your freedom. One characteristic of Optimus Prime that totally contradicts his overall pleas in the first 3 movies, or overall character. And Grimlock, you know Grimlock won't take that shit. And Grimlock is the Hulk of the whole Transformer universe. He's powerful. He's like Optimus mixed with Megatron, and having this Wraith of Omega Supreme. He is powerful through and through. But in this movie, Grimlock challenges Optimus Prime, and Optimus has more speed advantage because it's going back to the Predator King is slow in his robot form because of his weight and his strength. His weight and his strength makes him more slower, and you see how he's easily defeated. And I was like, okay, at least they're going with the Predacon theory. But then when Grimlock turned into his Dinobot form, I was like, okay, maybe he's gonna be like Predator King, where he's more powerful in his dinosaur form. And when he transforms into his dinosaur form, that one bitch slap you see Optimus do. Here's size. I'm done. I'm not gonna do fight you. I'm done. Optimus, his weight and his train makes him more slower, and you see how he's easily defeated. And I was like, okay, at least they're going with the Predacon theory. But then, when Grimlock turned into his Dinobot form, I was like, okay, maybe he's gonna be like Predaking, where he's more powerful in his dinosaur form. And when he transforms into his dinosaur form, that one bitch slap you see Optimus do, he decides, I'm done. I'm not gonna do fight you. Then lets Optimus ride him to battle. Him and his cohorts ride him to battle, and I'm just sitting there like, this is not Grimlock. And then scenes later, you just see Grimlock brutalizing Decepticons left and right as if they're his chew toy. And I'm sitting there like, you could have did this shit to Optimus. Why didn't you do this to Optimus? And that kind of pissed me off, because the movie brings in such iconic characters like that, but don't use the epic of this movie. For the first time in a long time since the first movie, we get more personalities from the Cybertronians, and that is something I have to tip my hat off to Michael Bay and the writers of said. Realize we're tired of not having the Autobots having a personality, but they just willing to do stuff. In a situation like this where they're being hunted, they actually have more personality. Some of them is frustrated, others are trying to find a balance, and one is just simply going with the flow. This is to keep the Autobot code. Lockdown is not only a good villain for this movie, but he's a superior villain, outbesting the previous villains, which is Megatron, who was wasted in the first movie. The Fallen, who was definitely wasted, but is a total lazy, weak bitch who did nothing. He popped out once again for his like employers, and with that, he has so much of a menacing presence with him when he's hunting down, doing whatever he has to do, making deals with the humans because he has to get closer to his bounty, and almost like he has a code to himself, and that makes him even more interesting and kind of threatening. The ratings I'm gonna give this movie, even though I had so much bad that kind of overpowers the good, I'm still gonna give this a 6 out of 10 matinee, because, you know, the good was actually kind of intense, and you had two main plots that were very interesting, that played off of each other so well. You got a better lead, Mark Wahlberg, more character development with Optimus, the Autobots, and a way more better villain. The only problem is the movie drags itself too much, where it would kind of get boring and not as interesting as it was before, and the underuse of the Autobots, Galvatron, and the unnecessary love cliche plot with Tessa and Shane. If they're planning another movie, yeah, that's right, Transformers 5. Brought that. Just wrong. I hope they can just take notes and be like, we have to not extend this movie so long, we gotta do this, that, but still keep the charm of the last movie that we have. If they do that, I'll be okay. I'd be like, they listen again to our complaints. So yeah, I'm giving this a 6 out of 10 matinee. I want to hear from you! Ow! Do you like this movie? Do you hate this movie? Do you think this movie was a breath of fresh air to the Transformers Michael Bayham movies? Or do you think this movie should have been completely forgotten and rebooted entirely? I don't know where to agree with you when you say it should have been rebooted. Because I want to reboot at this point. Whatever. And also, do you have those same complaints as the Dinobots as me? Let me know. Comment below. Like, subscribe, share this video, please. Shout out to Geek Brother, your family member.